everybody. I'm Joann Gemenden. I'm the Executive Director of the New Jersey Clean Communities Council. So I'll be...
Okay, and thanks, Joann. So then we'll start with your presentation. We're going to talk about the New Jersey Clean Communities and let us know all about that. You want to start, Joann?
Sure. I'm going to actually, my main focus is going to be talking about New Jersey's single-use plastic ban that is coming into play in a couple of months. But before I do that, I always like to do a little preview of what the New Jersey Clean Communities program is, because many folks don't know. I used to have 35 years under my belt as the former Recycling and Clean Communities Coordinator for Union County. But now I'm only in my first year of my new role. So I'm back to being a baby in the game, which I kind of like. So what is New Jersey Clean Communities, and what do we do and how do we work with you? Luckily, that's a pretty easy answer. We're a statewide nonprofit organization, and all we deal with is litter abatement programs. I'm used to wearing 7,000 hats, so getting down to, one giant hat is a welcome traditional move for me. And under this umbrella, we actually give money to every single county in New Jersey and every single municipality. So I know whether you're an elected official or you're a government employee, you got to follow the money. So anybody with the money has the power. So I really don't have any power, but it sounds good. And we actually work with all of our towns and all of our counties to help promote these programs statewide. Everybody gets funding, but not everybody really knows how to spend that money. So we help to promote spending it the right way, hopefully. And we've also modified our grant guidelines starting last year to deal with the New Jersey single-use plastic ban. Okay, I only have 15 minutes, so I'm gonna speak quickly. Under this new program, we got an additional $500,000 a year to do the outreach campaign, to work with organizations like yourself, to promote awareness, to be part of newsletters, PSAs, and we're going to be doing a whole bunch of paid advertising and a limited free distribution of reusable carryout bags. But most importantly, we're really here to do a statewide campaign. And the only way to do that is to give you guys free graphics and downloads. So when you're, getting into the gateway of New Jersey, whether it's Sussex County, Bergen County, Cape May, or Salem, you're going to be seeing that same messaging all over the place. So here it is as if I had planned it. And I have to say, this screenshot was from 5 days ago because today marks the 90-day countdown. So 90 days from today, New Jersey single-use plastic ban goes into effect. And I probably should tell you what that entails because most of my presentation is really about the outreach. So May 4th of 2022, every store, every restaurant, every grocery store in New Jersey is no longer allowed to use plastic bags. The ban also for grocery stores equal to or greater than 2,500 square feet are also banned from using paper bags. So anytime you go to the store, starting May 4th, you need to bring your own bags or you're going to have to buy them. That's a pretty big shift in our daily routine. More from the restaurant standpoint, there's also a ban on all polystyrene foam food containers. Can you tell I've been talking about this law for quite some time? Because that's a challenge to say polystyrene foam food containers correctly. So that's also a big shift, but that's more on the business end, not the consumer end. So we're hoping just by speaking here today and you're going back and telling two friends and they tell two friends that this ban is coming. But I encourage you to go to bagupnj.com because of this download, that little circle. We have a ton of free downloads. We have obviously our logo because we want you as a municipality or any organization to use the Bag Up NJ logo. We also have a Skip the Straw. I'll talk about that in a minute. We have social media and web banners, sandwich board signs and cling artwork, flyers, billboards, business intent cards. It says coming soon, but I'm happy to report they are here. They are on our website. I'm going to show you what everything looks like. So that way you're not going, what is that? And going on to Bag Up NJ while you should be listening to me. So we have two campaigns. I talked about Bag Up NJ May 4th. Skip the Straw. For those of you that don't know, New Jersey instituted a straw law, not a straw ban, that's starting last November. Restaurants or in fast food places don't automatically give you a plastic straw. You have to ask for it. So we're just asking folks to skip the straw altogether. So this is available on our website in English and Spanish. We have a lot of social media that's available, like I said, for free. You can take it and use it as is, or you can add your own county or municipal branding and put it on your website. We have flyers. We also have the New Jersey Business Action Center flyers. They are the business outreach arm of this endeavor. So they help businesses comply, but we all work together as a team, and they also have a flyer in English and Spanish that's on our website. We have a bunch of different sandwich board signs. We're working on translating them to Spanish, Portuguese, and Hindi. So that should be done, I'm going to say in the next week or two. And we also developed a shopping list artwork that you can take and print up pads. We get a lot of people that say, oh, I have bags, I always forget them. So this is a unique way, and another promotional item or giveaway you can do just to get people to remember to bring bags with them. I alluded to this before. These are our folding business cards and tent cards. The main difference is the size, obviously. The business cards are business card size. The tent cards are 8.5 by 10 by 11 when you open them up, but folded, they're 4.25 by 5.5 inches wide, like a tabletop. So they're available right now in English and Spanish. You can print them and give them out to your businesses. We have a lot of health departments that want to get involved, and we created this so they could be printed up. And as health departments are doing inspections, if you may not want to get into a confrontational, did you know, or this is coming, you can just leave this information behind and let the businesses know that if they want to help promote it, they can use these cards and ask for more. So we also do a lot of bag giveaway events through our business sponsorship program. Clean Communities will be doing reusable bag giveaways, but right now they are geared towards overburdened communities, food banks and food pantries, and seniors. But we do have a business partnership program. This is, I think on the top is from the Delaware River and Bay Authority. They gave us money to buy bags, and we did a bag giveaway program on the Cape May Ferry. And we gave out, I think, 1,300 bags in one day. We had volunteers that sailed back and forth all day long on the ferry. So if you have any businesses up in the Morris County area that would like to partner, please send them my way. We obviously want to do a lot of outreach. I know there's an elected official on this call. So one of the things we did last year that we will be revisiting probably next month with our counties is a model website. We want every county and every town in New Jersey to make the month of May Bag Up NJ month. It's just a way to celebrate it and do a press release and make sure everybody out there is remembering their bags. Same thing with making November Skip the Straw month. We're working on some PSAs. Obviously the 10 cards are done. Paid media ads, we're finalizing a outreach campaign to the motor vehicle network. So when you go and renew your license or your registration and you're sitting there in line, you're going to see some Bag Up NJ messaging along with transit ads and other kind of outreach we're doing. We really, like I said before, these are our priorities that we're working for the free reusable bag campaigns. but we're also, because every county and every town gets money and it's an allowable expense for with your grant funds, we're trying to encourage different avenues for you to spend money. So some towns are doing billboards. This is Middlesex County, and this is actually a town up in Bergen County that gets the free use of a billboard. I don't know how they did that, but kudos to them. And this is ballparks and arenas. This is Somerset County Stadium and Mercer County stadiums that did advertising all of 2021, or actually starting in May when we launched our campaign. Hudson County's been doing a lot of outreach on their light rail and bus stops. A whole bunch of counties, and we created a model website that incorporates the Bag Up NJ. So that's going on all over New Jersey. Recycle Coach, anybody, hopefully, that's a municipal employee knows about Recycle Coach, has it downloaded on their phone. It's obviously designed to give current recycling information, but we're certainly encouraging those that have access to it to do push notifications, such as it's 90 days till the bag ban goes into effect. And we are working with the New Jersey Food Council, which its members include every grocery store in New Jersey, every convenience store, Wawa, Quick Check, and 7-Eleven, Uber Eats, and obviously all the big grocery stores. And they share with them all of our information, and they are sharing their messaging. You're going to see Bag Up NJ on all of the store's messaging going forward. So what is your job is to connect with New Jersey communities. Now that you know who we are and we have the money, I'm kidding, I don't have any money, but connect with us, because that's what we're all about. We're all about partnerships and working with everybody. And if there's information that you want to see that we don't have, just ask, because that's what we're here. We're here, to work with you and partner with you and make sure you have what you need. I always say this, don't forget your employees, especially county governments tend to be the largest employer in their county. And we do bag giveaways and education programs, and we have all the people around us that go, what? I didn't know that. So don't forget them. Do a partnership with us, or just do a bag promotion. If you don't know about us and want to keep informed, we do have a monthly newsletter, and I forget her name. She spoke in the beginning, and she made me write down March 19th because she told me to write it down, so I did. So I will invite you, Larry, to submit to me an article about your March 19th cleanup, whether it's Morristown or Madison, or maybe the Watershed as a whole, because we're always looking for content and sharing what you're doing. And this is certainly what Clean Communities is all about. So you heard it, it's official because I'm being recorded. You are certainly invited to do that. And that's me, and I'm talking fast because I want to allow time for questions.
Thanks, Joanne. Is anybody have any questions for her?
See, I was all encompassing.
Hi, Joanne. Chris.
Hi.
So you'll help us with a press release so we can get that information out?
Oh, sure. There's plenty of content already on Bag Up NJ that you can use. I also have, over the past year, if I see an article, I, save it. So I have links to different Tap Into articles. That's what we're going to be doing next. Tap Into now has like a video promotion that they do every day. So it was too cost prohibitive for us to do like a $500,000 campaign. But we're going to be doing a video, and it's going to launch on every Tap Into site in New Jersey.
Oh,
so
that's
for the
good.
next few months. So
Joanne, can you give us your email address again?
no. Just kidding. Should I put it in the chat, or would
Yeah,
you want
you
me
can do it in the chat.
Sure.
Because
I have a question.
Allison has a question.
Sure.
I have a question about the ban itself. Does it include the thin plastic bags like in the produce counters? So that you put your produce in when you're purchasing produce?
I know what you mean. And I apologize. This is usually, we have 3 people doing a presentation. It's usually the New Jersey Business Action Center who reviews what they're doing with businesses, and then the DEP gives a whole presentation about the law itself. So I sort of remembered midstream that they weren't on this call. So there's probably, I'm going to say 7 to 8 different exemptions from the bag ban. One of which is definitely for deli meats. The other one is for rolls and fruits and stuff like that. There's the newspapers, which I think, we should ban them altogether because that's just litter in and of itself. Dry cleaning bags are exempt. I think there's 7 or 8 different exemptions. And what I'll do is I'll find the link. Oh, I'm going to even do one better than that. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, hopefully. Look at me, I'm so resourceful if I have my glasses on, I can think better for whatever reason that is. So this is the DEP website, nj.gov/DEP/plastic-ban-law. So, and it's a fantastic website, and it gives you a whole bunch of information on the law in and of itself, including the timeline, what the legislation requires, and the FAQs. And I should know off the top of my head, but I don't, what the exemptions are, but I will try to find them. But this is where you're going to go, and I'll put this in the chat because there are many
Okay.
exemptions to it.
Thank you very much for that clarification.
There we go. Found it. So, but I will still include this link. And I'm going to stop sharing. I'm
So
sorry.
it does include produce.
Yes.
So as far, Joanne, Larry, how you doing? So as far as our March 19th litter cleanup down at the church and the river, it sounds like a perfect place to do a bag giveaway somehow.
I was thinking that, which is why, even though Allison told everybody to, I was like, I'm listening to Allison. I put that on I wrote
Yeah,
that down.
because that's a pastor who's kind of runs that litter cleanup with us, who is very concerned with the social justice issues in town. And Morristown's got 1 billion plastic bags in restaurants, probably more so than most places. So I think it's a good opportunity to try to do something with that for us.
I agree. And I can work. I'm sure you guys have reusable bags, but I already have some sandwich boards printed up, which I tend to use at events like that because I don't like to give stuff out and promote littering, which is what it.
We're a
what it
flag
tends to do.
county.
Yes, I forgot.
Or what?
Long enough.
I'm kidding. We used to joke about promoting with those flags, like they have that fly in the wind.
Oh,
I
that.
don't know what they call it.
Like, yeah, gas stations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, if you like, we could talk offline about the tabling for that event and what you would need and the setup. I think we said the time was 8 or 8:30 to noon. And sure, all hands on deck, and the more the merrier, because there's definitely a lot of litter to pick up at that time of year with the snow melting and all of that. So
Yeah.
be happy to talk to you offline about your setup needs and what we can do to inform the public. And we've usually had anywhere from, depending on the temperature that day, anywhere from 10 people to 100 people. Just depends on the weather. I think we said it was rain or shine. So of course, heavy rain and heavy storm will cancel, but
Yeah, this is not my first rodeo relative to that. But yeah,
okay,
we'll talk.
yeah.
We'll talk offline and we'll see what we can do. Because obviously we're not going to come out for the whole event. What we've done in the last,
Sure.
6 months as we come near the end of the cleanup, because people don't want to bring bags with them as they're cleaning up litter. So, but we'll figure that out.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And
Yeah.
thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Joanne. And if there's any more questions, or we can move on. Oh,
Kathleen.
Kathy.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check in on the straw ban. So what was the date on that? And then also, you have to request a straw if they're giving out plastic straws, but places are allowed to give out paper straws without
Yes.
being requested. Is that the difference?
Correct. And I have to say, there's not a lot of compliance with the straw law. And the Department of Health is the one responsible for enforcing the straw law, where it's the DEP and the CHI agencies that are enforcing the other aspects. And I think that the DEP is well aware, the state is well aware, and they're taking baby steps, because I think the bigger impact is going to be May 4th. But I know like McDonald's has switched to paper straws in New
Right.
Jersey.
I know also.
And we get a lot of people that complain, and then it turns out that in fact, it's a paper straw, not a plastic, but it's wrapped similarly. There's a couple of campaigns I want to work on, developing coasters and giving them out to businesses, especially in the shore communities for the summer. So it sort of explains why we're doing it, because New Jersey's a tough crowd, as we all know, and we just automatically complain. This would have been a perfect avenue for me to share my mean tweets, as I call it. I get a lot of hate mail from people, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maureen.
Yeah, I have to bounce out of here, but Joanne, thank you so much. Madison has had the plastic bag and skip the straw in place for over a year. But I know the challenges to enforcing it. So I look forward to talking with you later on.
Yeah, and if we can help the town, in any way down the
Yeah,
road,
I
give
would
me an email.
appreciate it. I've got
All right,
your
thank you.
contact information. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Maureen.
Maureen. Thanks.
Bye, Maureen.
I'm sorry, Anthony and Christine, I'm like stomping on your time. Oh, it's 6:30. I think I'm right on point.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Joanne.
All right, well, you know where to find me. So if you need me,
And
call.
plus we have it recorded, and anybody else who missed it, they can always contact me. Plus we have your email. And we'll
You got
definitely contact you further about it, especially
Okay,
the
and don't
postal
forget
kit.
to send me an article. I would love it.
Yeah, especially with that. Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you all and have a good night.
You too.
Okay, thanks, Joanne. Bye.
And
Okay, so we can go with the rest of the meeting.
Let's go with Anthony and
Okay.
Christine.
sure. All right.
Is his
Yeah.
screen work?
We're
Nice
here.
looking
We're
office.
getting our PowerPoint.
Can we have to share their screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Host
hold on.
disabled, participant. Yep.
Okay, there. I made you a co-host. You should be able to
All
share.
right. All right.
Ready?
Just go back. Okay, everybody see that?
Yeah,
Yeah, looks
Perfect.
good.
So hi again, I'm Chris. I'm in the recycling department at the Morris County MUA. And my colleague.
Hi, Anthony Marrone from the Morris County MUA.
So right now, we're going to share a little information about what not to put at the curb for your recycling and your garbage. So all towns in Morris County must recycle certain materials. These are our mandated recyclables. And they include aluminum cans, glass bottles and jars, plastic bottles coded 1 and 2. And you probably all know, but you can see the plastic code number on the bottom of the bottle. Steel tin cans, newspapers, corrugated cardboard, and mixed paper. Then there's other items, mandated organics. This is a great little flyer. We have it on our website. Metal appliances, and other e-waste and hazardous waste. So, but now I want to share with you information about unacceptable materials. This is a good rule of thumb to follow no matter what town you live in. Don't put these materials in your curbside recycling bin. And I'm going to start off with a bang. We always get questions about pizza boxes. So until recently, we accepted pizza boxes in our recycling program. However, the material recovery facilities came to us and said, please stop accepting them. And you'll never guess why they don't want them anymore. I think Anthony probably knows the answer to that.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's contaminated with food residue. So as you can see on the bottom, there's a lot of greasy, grimy pizza on the bottom of that box, and that's not acceptable in the curbside bin. However, small tip, if you cut the top off and it's not contaminated with food residue or grease, that is still able to be recycled. The bottom, however, is acceptable in your trash
It's in
can.
the trash. So if you rip the top off, as Anthony said, it's not a pizza box and you could put it in your recycling bin.
Chris, did you take that out of our executive director's
I
spot?
took it out of
I'm wondering whose thumbprint is on the top of it. Is that acceptable? That little greasy thumbprint. Does that have to be torn off?
We took the crust off first. Another item that we no longer accept in our program is shredded paper. This is a really big contaminant at the recycling process facilities. It gets into the bales of other recyclable materials and it really contaminates them.
That's correct, Chris. It's almost impossible to capture.
So we recommend that residents contact their municipal recycling coordinator and find out about local shredding events. Any mailing envelopes that have bubble wrap lining, ground paper liner made of Tyvek are not acceptable.
Hey, Chris, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What do you do with those paper envelopes with the little plastic windows in them?
So an envelope with a little glassine window in it is perfectly acceptable in your recycling. But with COVID happening, many people are working from home and having boxes delivered. And if you look at this box, I don't know if you can tell, it says #1 plastics, recycle in your curbside bin. And I don't get Hello Fresh delivered to my house every day, but I think Anthony does.
I don't know what she's talking about. I'm a gourmet chef. I don't use stuff like that. But Chris, that's a good point, though, what you're saying about the #1 plastic codes. If it's not a bottle, then?
Exactly. It's not a bottle or a container. It's a piece of insulation. So please keep it out of your recycling bin. Next slide, please. Hardcover books, foil greeting cards, musical cards, embellished wrapping paper, any non-paper trimmed gift bags are not acceptable.
What about tissue paper?
Tissue paper, you could, but not tissues.
Okay.
That was a voice from the audience.
Thank you, Thing.
Well, you wouldn't have to worry about that kind of thing in my recycling because Chris didn't give me a birthday gift this year.
Oh, I apologize. So hardcover books, however, can be recycled if it has an ISBN number. And I think if you look in the back of the book, you can see it. There's a company called New Legacy Books, and they have containers located throughout Morris County. They're very happy to get your books. Also, you might want to check with a local nonprofit. They may want your books also. Food containers that are made of mixed materials, any kind of food stained or waxy container cannot be recycled in the program. So I don't know if you can see that Italian breadcrumb container.
Wait, Chris, so you're telling me that waxy paper items or items with a metal rim or that Chinese food container, just because that has the wire bar on it, that can't be recycled?
That can't be. Anything waxy, anything with mixed materials, there are no markets for that material. But thank you for asking that question. That was a good question.
Are you telling me Thing over there won't separate that piece of metal from the cardboard in the Chinese food container?
Larry, one of the other problems is food contamination people will eat their fried rice and then just throw the container into the recycling bin, and that contaminates. That attracts varmints. We don't want.
Yeah, we finish our food at home.
Chris, what about milk containers? If you rinse them and you cut off the plastic part that is where the milk is poured, are those allowed in the paper?
Allison, they are acceptable. We call them gable top containers. You do not have to remove that nozzle. You could put it in as is. That's fine. But we ask that it be empty, dry, and clean. So just rinse.
Do they have to be flattened?
No, actually, if you could keep it solid, it's actually better at the processing facility. Sometimes the optical scanners will send that piece of flattened paper to, the glass line or to the plastic paper line. Thank you, Larry.
What about the cap to those?
Hold on, we have a wonderful question from the
Wait a
audience.
minute, the audience is asking a question.
What about the caps to those milk containers?
So, good question.
Thing.
If we go to the next slide, maybe we'll find out the answer. So other unacceptable items are small bottle caps, small pill bottles, items smaller than an 8-ounce yogurt cup.
Wait a second, Chris. Let's get back to what we just talked about. That's still a piece of plastic.
Unfortunately, when items are too small, they fall through the processing lines at the facility. They end up as residue. So we ask that they not be put into the recycling. Now, juice pouches, spray pumps, nozzles, straws, glass dishes, window panes are also not acceptable. A lot of people get a little confused when we talk about glass, but they're not acceptable. Any flower pot or plant tray is not acceptable.
Whoa. Why is that, Chris?
Well, Anthony, not everyone is as fastidious as you are. Sometimes someone will throw a pot away. It'll be half full of dirt.
It's a good point, Chris.
So the markets do not want any kind of pots like that. We also ask that any kind
So
of
where does the hard plastics go?
the hard plastics, there is a market for hard plastics. There's no market for these plastic pots. Unfortunately, they are so contaminated. And I know everybody here would scrupulously scrub out their container, but a lot of people don't. So there is no market.
Dennis, what hard
Yeah, because I
plastics
know
are you referring to?
In my town, because we, I know they collect the hard plastic separately.
Those are rigids, Chris.
Yes, rigid plastics, like you'll have your lawn chair, you might have a nice bucket, a laundry basket. Those are totally acceptable. Plant pots are not acceptable even in your rigid plastics container.
So, and the Pyrex measuring cup is not acceptable either?
No, it's a different formula than a glass bottle or a glass jar. So it's actually contaminates the bales at the processing plants. That's why we like to share this, because it's a little confusing. No, or a vase, a glass vase, it's not acceptable.
Very good questions.
What about a garbage can?
A garbage can, if you have a plastic garbage can, Shana, you could put it in your rigid plastics roll-off container that would be located at your recycling depot.
But rigid plastics never go in your single stream container that gets picked up at the curb, right?
That's correct.
Okay,
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for clarifying that.
thank you. Thought I'd play Anthony for a second.
So aerosol and pressurized cans have been deleted from our acceptable materials because they, along with rechargeable batteries, can actually cause problems at recycling facilities. Anthony, you have any idea what kind of problem they might cause?
Could be fires at the recycling facility, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Oh, good. And with COVID, I mean, we all see this. These are not acceptable in your recycling bin. They can be tossed into the garbage. Next slide. And we ask, and this is good for, well, any place in Morris County, please use a recyclable container for your recyclables. Do not tie up any material, and never use a plastic bag. Don't put any plastic bags into your recycling. Everything must be loose, empty, clean, and dry. And one of the biggest problems at the material processing plants are tanglers. And tanglers are hangers, string, anything that could get wrapped around the machinery at the plants. And we actually have a short little video we'd like to share with you.
I gotta go back.
I've been driving for more than 25 years. This is Christmas clean propane in plastics bags, not recycled. Only bottles, cans, paper, and cardboard go in recycled. Some recycling programs have over 25% contamination. We spend too much time sorting through contamination and not enough time sorting through good material.
The hardest thing I've seen was a skid deer.
I saw a badger and with his eyes open, I'm terrified. I thought it was gonna wake up, so I didn't touch that.
The most common thing I would see for terminating the line would be Christmas lights.
Water hoses can stop the stars from spinning around. And anytime we get jammed, the whole system shuts down. Right now, as you can see, everything is shut down because we have to clean the machine.
There's a lot of plastic bags and system, grocery bags, bags filled with leaves. That's also get caught up in the stream. Stream cleaning is where we go inside the stream and we take out the unwanted materials, old clothing, old shoes, metal material. When we go inside the stream, you might have a hole sticking out the shaft. We have to pry it out, or we might have cords that's wrapped around 3 shafts, a rope, or chains, and we have to use the tool to get those things out. The tools we have look nice, some wire cutters and some pliers.
6 times a day, we stop the machines to clean for contamination.
Well, it would probably take us up to 2 hours to clean the screen out when recycling is not done properly. We try to clean the screen 100% so it can run smooth as possible without causing the jam. Now that I work here in waste management, I tell my friend that recycling is really important. If more people will recycle right, we can process more recycling. Okay.
So you can see the problems that happen when you don't recycle right. This is a copy of our unacceptable materials list. You can go on our website, www.mcmua.com, or you can ask Larry for a copy.
All right, so I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about what to do with some of those unacceptable items. As we saw before, we had oil containers, you had some antifreeze containers, your aerosols. So a lot of those items, even if they're still a little empty, they still contain a little bit of residue in them. And the ones that are filled are able to be brought to our household hazardous waste facility. The MCMUA runs this household hazardous waste facility in Mount Olive, and it's open year round. We also have 4 household hazardous waste events that are also available for Morris County residents as well to drop off that hazardous waste.
What do you accept at the hazardous facility?
It's a great question, Chris. So things like the aerosols, antifreeze, arts and craft supplies, batteries, pool chemicals, propane, those things are all acceptable at our facility. And what you could do is you could either make an appointment online, or you could call the phone number on the previous slide here, and you could make an appointment to come up to the facility and drop off that hazardous waste.
So Anthony, why can't I put that material into my garbage can or my recycling bin?
Even a better question, Chris. So I'd like to follow that up with an example. So what you're looking at here is the Atlantic Coast Fibers facility in Passaic, New Jersey. And during January 30th of 2021, so almost a little over a year ago.
Wow.
They had a fire at the facility.
Wow.
The facility served as a recycling mainstay, pretty much for the northern New Jersey area, just processing recyclables. So what had happened was that it is possible that a lithium-ion battery had made its way into the plant and caused a fire.
Wait, Anthony, a battery, a little battery?
Well, you would think that that would be the case, but let me show you what would happen.
What would happen?
Anthony, you should narrate. We have trouble hearing it.
Okay. So what you could see here is this is just one lithium ion battery that had a small pin, push pin punctured inside of it. So you could see just from this one example how a plant full of plastics and paper would easily catch fire just from one battery. And when you're talking about batteries making its way into facility, a greeting card with a music component to it, or even a box that might have had an extra battery in it, can all become an issue. So that's why it showcases the importance of placing your recyclables in the correct bin and recycling right.
Wow, that's great.
What if I have an unidentified item that I would like to dispose of?
Well, even better
I
question.
think you should repeat the question.
So Shayna had asked in our office, what do you do with an unknown item that you believe is hazardous? Well, very good question. What you can do is go on our website to mcmua.com and you click on the button that says schedule your HHW appointment. You follow the prompts, select the date and time that works great for you, and then you fill out an application. And on the application, you would supply any information about the type of bottle, container, name, and you could supply a picture, and one of our friendly representatives will call you back and schedule your appointment or give you the correct way to get rid of it.
Convenient.
Quite convenient.
Wow. Anthony, what is a drop-off event?
Oh, well, drop-off events are events where you could just come in your car to any one of our pre-approved locations and drive right through, and our friendly staff will take the waste out of your vehicle for you and dispose of it properly. Free of charge for Morris County residents.
Wow, what a great program. I just want to thank our executive director.
I would too.
Thanks, Larry G.
Are you guys available for Friday nights in the Catskills?
Only if you supply the drinks, Larry.
Okay.
So
Manischewitz for everyone.
So for more information about recycling, reuse, and proper disposal
of household
hazardous waste,
go to
mcmua.com. Yay!
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Anthony and Chris.
Yes. Great audience.
What an act you guys got there.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I know I learned a lot, and today is my recycling day, so I had to make sure that I got everything, the right recycling material in there.
And Siva, just so you know, living in Morris Township, even though the Morris County MUA doesn't pick up in Morris Township, they still deliver materials to the same facility that
Right.
Chris and Anthony were talking about. So the rules pretty much are the exact same for Morris Township as they are for the towns that we collect from. And Jennifer, just so you know, living in Booton, we also collect from you, and you follow those rules. And Dennis, Hanover Township, also we collect from you, so you follow the rules. And Kathy, we live in Morris Township, so like Siva, we have to follow these rules, even though we don't get the tremendous collection I just heard about, or could call up and get a great answer on something. And Samantha, I don't know where you live.
The rules have changed a little, so I'm so glad I paid attention. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got to tell my family not to throw certain things in the recycling bin.
Yes, we appreciate it. If anybody needs any recycling stickers, just email us. We'll be glad to get them out to you. We can also send you information about acceptable and unacceptable materials. So just give us you want to put our emails back up?
Yeah, I'll put our email.
Or you can ask Larry.
You can ask me.
And what about Madison? I know I know Maureen left, but she's going to.
Madison does not use this facility. They go to, I forget which one. I know it's, they go to, Giordano's new company, Integrity Recycling.
Oh, okay.
So whatever the rules used for integrity recycling are really the collection rules that people in Madison should be following. But
Well,
when in doubt, they're probably pretty close to ours, and
Mhm.
ours are pretty conservative. And in today's world, the motto is when in doubt, throw it out. So you don't ruin the recycling that you're trying so hard to
So where does,
conserve.
where do you send the lithium batteries?
Anthony?
Even better question.
What a good question.
And we were going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
So what you could
Well, you
do is
didn't.
a lot of town, well, we wanted to keep the presentation somewhat short so you get on with your meeting.
Oh,
We
okay.
could talk in nauseam for hours
We
on
could go
all
on.
this. So what you could do is you would look on a website called Call to Recycle. It's a program that's sponsored by the battery manufacturers, and a lot of it is free. They sponsor some facilities that are free of charge to dispose of those batteries. So a lot of places like your Staples, I think it's Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, all have a box out front where you could put those batteries in and just recycle them without an appointment. Or you could come up to our household hazardous waste facility or one of our events and drop those off as well. The best thing to do is always tape the terminals before you dispose of them.
In
No,
addition,
Just thinking about it, we had the presentation for Clean New Jersey, and they have, a lot of the paperwork, the flyers or whatever it is for their dog and pony show. And, we've got the stuff here from for MUA. One of the things that, flyers should be put out is basically, where do you, send stuff like that, like fluorescent bulbs, the LED lamps, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
We have a lot of that information on our website, and we could send that to you through Larry, or we can.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that are just computer stupid.
Correct. Well, we have a recycling guide that we give out. We have a lot of flyers that we do provide. So we do
for
try
instance, that I'm sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
No, go. It's fine.
I was gonna
Larry,
say,
go ahead.
Dennis.
You could interrupt him. He doesn't care.
Sorry. So I was going to say, we do have excellent printouts that we could hand out to people like your green team to distribute, like Chris is holding up. And we have comprehensive environmental guides that we prepare at the
No, I
MUA.
know. We pick them up and we give them out. Actually, we've given out a ton of reusable
Decals,
bags,
bro.
in town, and we always put the flyers, inside there because you
Great
figure
idea.
Yeah. Because people don't pick it up, but they're gonna take the bag, so
Yeah.
at least they'll have it before they throw it out.
Is this on screen? Yes.
But
Can you
Dennis,
see this
also
now that I'm
regarding,
putting up there, Dennis?
What?
Can you see what I have up here now, Dennis, on the computer?
And I think Dennis.
Yeah,
he,
You just, yeah,
I just see your
MCMUA.
email.
right,
Yep.
and the email addresses.
Oh, they can't see it.
Oh, they can't see it. Let me.
Yeah, you can see it.
We can see
Anthony
it.
was showing the website. Did you see the website?
Oh, no.
No, we didn't see the website.
Oh.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
So we have a lot of different flyers on here, which we could provide you. And I mean, just us doing these talks like this, we do them in
Sure.
whoever asks for them, we could do them for. So if there's any other way that you might suggest that we could help, we're definitely open to it.
She has a question.
Okay, thanks.
Jennifer?
Yeah, I have two questions, and forgive me if I missed it on the flyer, but I'm assuming that aseptic fits into the same category as your milk
Yes.
and orange. Okay, good, because I've been doing that for years.
Yeah, that's
And,
great.
and
Just remove that straw. The straw is not acceptable, the little straw in the aseptic juice box.
oh, I mean like the larger ones that have like chicken stock or soup. Lid
That's
goes in the trash, rinse it out. It's okay to put in, right? That's what I do.
That's perfect.
But what happened to 5 and 6? I just remember there was like a huge, there used to be a lot more things, numbers, codes that you could recycle, and they seem to just
Yeah.
keep going down. Can somebody address that? I'm curious.
I started with the mandated material that must be recycled, and that's only 1s and 2s. However, markets accept 1, 2, and 5. That's fine. So some of the like number 3, code number 3 is a PVC. That's unacceptable. 4 is not acceptable. 6 is the styrene. We don't want that.
So
And
5 is okay.
5 is acceptable, yes.
Okay.
There are markets for this material, so that is why they are acceptable. But number 5 is not mandated to be recycled.
Correct.
I understand. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And some facilities may not have 5s in their program, but we do. It's in our
And
program.
other facilities may also just try to simplify it all and just say recycle 1 through 7, which we don't try to do. We try to tell people to recycle right, but trying to minimize contamination. For a long time, that wasn't the goal, and it was just to recycle as much as you could, and it was
Right.
causing too much contamination. And that's why we've kind of stepped back and really are targeting the materials that will actually get recycled, separated and recycled when mixed in with single stream. So it evolves
Thank
over
you.
time. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a good question.
The one thing you could look, the car batteries.
Mhm.
I think the iron waste companies, like Rockaway
Yep.
Recycling, I think they accept it.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis, just so you know, car batteries are traditionally the most successfully recycled material I think we see. That those all end up at recycling facilities. Probably and always have been. So somehow those always find their destination. The lead in them has always been worth something, and they find their proper recycling destination for the most part. We don't find them in the garbage, the lead acid batteries. And they end up at places like that. Where do we send ours, Anthony, when they come through hazardous waste?
What we actually do is I usually call up 2 to 3 different places to see who will give us the best market price, but generally it's Rockaway Recycling.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what we
good.
send
I
ours.
called them up. In fact, they said that, I think he said that you didn't have to drain the acid out either.
No, you could drop them off just as they are, and you can
Actually, they
for them,
pay
too.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does Siba have it?
I don't think
Oh,
we're
yeah.
suggesting anyone drain any acid, right?
No, we're not.
What about coffee pods, like the Keurig pods?
Pods or pots? I'm sorry.
Pods.
Pods. The Keurig, what do you, coffee maker pods?
They're too
Yeah.
small. They would fall through.
Okay, so
Plus, they're kind of hard to get all that coffee out.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and
It's
a lot of
multi-material.
these things all are for like specialized recycling facilities that you might have those things, like the Nespresso pods are a good example of those.
okay.
So those could be brought back to the manufacturer. I mean, the person that you bought them from, like Nespresso, and they have a recycling program where that goes up to Ag Choice, and they actually crush the containers, get the coffee out, and actually recycle the aluminum. So that's an example of something that works
Yeah,
that way.
that's not-
But it's a very rare thing that you wouldn't find at a curbside recycling program.
No.
Anthony, you said Nespresso very quickly. You probably have one at home.
I do.
Gourmet.
I thought you did Blue Apron.
Whoa, who keeps saying that? I'm Italian. I just keep adding the right amount of spice. Tell my ancestors tell me to stop. So, no, but it's just a good example of, these smaller things that pop up. But again, it's not something that you would find in your curbside
Yeah.
recycling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So We ask that you follow this recipe. All these materials are acceptable. If you follow this, you're helping us to help the people at the plants.
Yeah, I'll show that to my family here and tell them what to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's no other questions?
Oh,
there we go.
do that again, Larry.
Zoom bomb.
Oh, so cute.
Okay, all right, thank you, guys, and
Thank you for having us.
yeah,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much.
We enjoyed
Thank you.
ourselves.
Yes, that was clear.
All right.
okay, thanks.
Bye now.
You're welcome to
Bye,
hang out
guys.
or go home. It's all up to you. You've had a long day, so enjoy.
We had to clean up the conference room, Larry. We made a mess.
Really.
All right. Bye,
Maybe
guys.
think will help. Bye.
Thank-